morning to all. As a part of online classes, I am telling D block elements. This is Prabhakar Rao, working as a chemistry lecturer in Degree College, Eluru. So, today our concept is D block elements. In intermediate classes, we have learned that total elements are classified into four main blocks: S, P, D and F. So on what basis all these elements are classified? And the simple reason is, depending upon outermost electronic configuration, total elements are classified into four main blocks, that is S block, P, D and F. So what are S block elements and on what basis they are called S block elements? See, just now I have told you that the reason is outermost electronic configuration may be NS1 or NS2, it doesn't matter. They are called S block elements. If the outermost electronic configuration may be NP1 or NP2, NP3, NP4, NP5 and NP6, it doesn't matter. They are called P block elements. And the placing of elements is as shown in the figure. See, S block elements are placed at the extreme left side of the periodic table and P block elements are placed at the extreme right side as shown in the figure. Coming to our topic, that is D block elements, they are placed at the center of the periodic table. Coming to last block elements, they are called block elements and they are placed at the bottom of the periodic table. So, on what reason they are classified into four block elements? On what reason? So, to study the elements easily, they are classified into four main blocks: S, P, D and F. So, our concern is D block. So, which element is D block element? How can you say that? So, for the questions, the only answer is, if the differentiating electron enters into the D sublevel, then they are called D block elements. So that is the basic of the classification of elements in the periodic table. Coming to general electronic configuration of D block elements. General electronic configuration of D block elements. So the general electron configuration is n minus 1 D 1 to 10 NS 1 or 2. This is general electronic configuration of D block elements. See, n minus 1 D 1 to 10 and NS 1 or 2. This is general electronic configuration. Here, this means In D sublevel, there may be 1 electron, 2 electrons, 3 electrons, 4, 5, up to 10 possible. Coming to ns orbital, there may be 1 or 2 electrons. There may be 1 or 2 electrons. That is general electronic configuration of d block elements. And coming to new concept, that is transition elements. New concept, that is transition elements. Transition elements. See, D block elements are nothing but transition elements. What is that? D block elements are nothing but transition elements. So, how can you say that D block elements are transition elements? So, the reason is, just now I have told you that the block diagram of periodic table. Block diagram of periodic table. See, I am drawing a simple diagram of modern periodic table. This is block diagram of entire periodic table, and it is classified into 4 blocks: S, P, D and F. Okay, that and all we know. Coming to transition elements. Why D block elements are called into transition elements? See, D block elements are placed between S and P. S and P. Which means D block elements are act as a bridge between S block and P block. Or act as bridge between S block and P block. So the properties of D block elements in between S and P block elements. Once again I am repeating, the properties of D block elements are in between S and P. So that is the reason why all D block elements except zinc, cadmium and mercury, are called transition elements. Why zinc, cadmium and mercury are not transition elements? That and all we will discuss later. So coming to why D block elements are called transition elements, the only reason is D block elements are placed between S block and P block, and the properties of D block elements are in between S and P. So that is the reason why D block elements are called transition elements. And we can say in another way, and what is that? If the n-1 D sublevel is incompletely filled, then that element is called transition element. Let us suppose take the case of scandium. The electronic configuration of scandium is, now I am writing 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, 4s2, and finally 3d1. Why you are stopping here? Because scandium atomic number is 21. So configuration is 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, 4s2, and finally 3d1. Here in this 3d sublevel, there is only one electron. There is only one electron. D sublevel contains maximum of 10 electrons. What is that? D sublevel contains maximum of 10 electrons. But here there is only one electron. But here there is only one electron. So D sublevel is incompletely filled. What is that? Incompletely filled. Coming to another element, that is titanium. What is that? Titanium. Atomic number is 22. Atomic number is 22. Configuration is, I am writing that 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, 4s2, and finally 3d2. What is that? 3d2. Here also D sublevel is incompletely filled. D sublevel is incompletely filled. So titanium is also called as transition element. So in that fashion, if any element D sublevel is incompletely filled, D sublevel is incompletely filled, then that element can be called as transition element. What is that? Transition element. Again I am repeating, what is transition element? If any element having incompletely filled D sublevel, then that element can also be called as transition. So classification of elements into blocks and general electronic configuration of D block elements, and why we are calling D block elements as transition element. That and all we have discussed. Coming to properties of D block elements. Properties of D block elements. Properties are of two types, mainly physical properties and chemical properties. Physical properties and chemical properties. Physical properties, keep it aside, it doesn't matter. Coming to chemical properties. This is very important area, and questions going to come from this area. Questions are going to come from this area, chemical properties. Next, so from properties of D block elements, let us discuss about color properties. Color properties. This is also known as spectral properties. This is also known as spectral properties. See, most of the D block elements are colored. Most of the D block elements are colored. Due to what? Due to what? Due to unpaired electrons. Due to unpaired electrons. If any element having unpaired electrons in its outermost shell, then that element will exhibit color. Then that element will exhibit color. Let us take the case of manganese. Let us take the case of manganese. Manganese atomic number is 25 and the electronic configuration is 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, 4s2 and 3d5. 3d5. See here there are 5 unpaired electrons. There are 5 unpaired electrons. So whenever an element having unpaired electrons in it, definitely that element will exhibit color. Definitely that element will exhibit color. So here we have 5 unpaired electrons. So from that we can conclude that manganese will exhibit color. So what color will exhibit by the manganese? What color will exhibit by the manganese? See, manganese will exhibit pale pink color. Pale pink color. What is that? Pale pink color. Actually, this color will exhibit by the manganese in its ionic form. What is that? In its ionic form. That is Mn 2 plus R plus 2. So in its ionic state, it will exhibit pale pink color. What is that? Pale pink color. Coming to iron. So when it is in +2 form, it will exhibit green color, and when it is in +3 state, it will exhibit brown color. What is that? Brown color. So when D block elements are in its ionic form, they will exhibit different colors. Coming to copper, when it is in +2 form, what is that? +2 form, it will exhibit blue color. Blue color. Okay. Once again, I am writing ionic form and its color. Manganese, when it is +2 form, it will exhibit pale pink color. And iron, when it is in +2 form, it will exhibit green color. And when it is in +3 state, it will exhibit brown color. And finally, copper, when it is in +2 form, it will exhibit blue color. What is that? Blue color. So manganese, iron and copper, when they are in ionic form, they will exhibit color. Manganese, which is in pale pink color, ferrous, which is in green color, ferric, which is in brown color, cupric, which is in blue color. So most of the D block elements will exhibit color when they are in ionic form. When they are in ionic form. So that and all we have discussed. Coming to magnetic properties. Magnetic properties. Magnetic properties. So whenever an element contains unpaired electrons, definitely that element will exhibit magnetic properties also. Magnetic properties also. Even if an element to exhibit magnetic properties, definitely that element or ion, whatever it may be, doesn't matter. Definitely it will contain unpaired electron. Definitely it will contain unpaired electron. See, if you take the case of, let us suppose, iron, atomic number is 26 and electron configuration is 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, 4s2 and finally 3d6. 3d6. See, in s orbital there is 2 electrons, so it is completely filled. In 2s orbital there are 2 electrons, it is also completely filled. In 2p it will also completely filled, completely filled, completely filled, completely filled. And here 3d6. What is that? 3d6. Here just now I have told you that D sublevel contains maximum of 10 electrons. So here for iron in the 3D sublevel there are only 6 electrons. So I am drawing D sublevel orbitals. D sublevel orbitals. First orbital, second, third, and 4 and 5. So this is D sublevel. Here, in the case of iron, there are 6 electrons in its outermost shell. What is that? In the case of iron, there are 6 electrons in its outermost shell. So I am drawing electronic configuration of outermost shell of iron. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many? 6. So 6. So total 6 electrons in 3D sublevel. That is enough. So here, if you see, there are 2 paired electrons and 4 unpaired electrons. Again, I am repeating. In the case of iron, in its outermost shell, there are 4 unpaired electrons. So from this, we can conclude that it will exhibit magnetic properties also. Even iron is in its ionic form. Iron is in its ionic form, it will exhibit magnetic properties. So if any element to exhibit magnetic properties, definitely it will contain unpaired electrons in its ionic form or in atomic state, whatever it may be. So, if you take the case of atomic state of iron, even in that case there are four unpaired electrons. Even if it is in ionic form, there are four unpaired electrons. So, whatever it may be, iron will exhibit magnetic properties. So to calculate magnetic moment of Fe2 plus ion, magnetic moment of Fe2 plus ion, the formula is mu is equal to root of n into n plus 2 Bm. N root of n into n plus 2 Bm. Bm is the unit of magnetic moment. అయస్కాంత భ్రామకం in Telugu. అయస్కాంత భ్రామకం in Telugu. So magnetic moment is symbolically represented with the letter mu. To calculate magnetic moment, we have to use the formula that is root of n into n plus 2 Bm. Bm is the unit of magnetic moment. So, for what elements we have to use this formula? Means for 3D series only we have to use this formula. 3D series. What is 3D series? That and all we are going to discuss later. So coming to calculate magnetic moment of iron 2 plus ion, I am using this formula, that is mu is equal to root of n into n plus 2 Bm. So mu is magnetic moment of the ion or element. Coming to n, what is this n? N is number of unpaired electrons in its elemental state or ionic state, whatever it may be. Number of unpaired electrons in its elemental state or atomic state. Let us take the case of Fe2 plus. Fe2 plus. Here Fe is, we know very well that Fe means ferrum or also known as iron. So iron atomic number is 26. Configuration is 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, 3p6, 4s2, finally 3d6, which is atomic electronic configuration. But now I am talking about ionic state of iron. That means ferrous state of Fe. Ferrous state of Fe. When iron is in ferrous state, it is represented with Fe2 plus. What is that? Fe2 plus. That means we have to remove 2 electrons from its electronic configuration. 2 electrons from its electronic configuration. So we can remove from here, 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 here. But we are removing 4s orbital. We are removing 4s orbital. Why we are removing 2 electrons from here only? What is the reason? The reason is we have to remove electrons from its outermost shell. What is that? From its outermost shell. So, in the case of iron, outermost shell is 4s and 3d. So, this is the outermost orbit. So, we can remove electrons from here only. So, that is why I am removing 2 electrons from outermost shell of iron. That is 4s. 4s. The remaining electrons in its outermost shell is remaining electrons. Remaining electrons. What are the remaining electrons? So after removing 2 electrons from 4s orbital, in its outermost shell there is only 3d sublevel, and d sublevel it contains maximum of 6 electrons only. When iron is in +2 form. When iron is in +2 form. Now I am drawing d sublevel of ferrous ion. Ferrous ion. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Now I am filling these orbitals with the electrons 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So configuration is over. Coming to, let us count how many unpaired electrons when iron is in +2 form. How many electrons? 4 unpaired electrons. So 4 unpaired electrons. Now I am calculating magnetic moment of Fe2 plus ion by using the formula n root of n into n plus 2 Bm. Here, just now I have told you that where n is number of unpaired electrons. Where n is number of unpaired electrons. So, how many number of unpaired electrons? Let us count. 1, 2, 3 and 4. What is that? 1, 2, 3 and 4. So, coming to calculation of magnetic moment, that is